What is a seemingly mundane question you can ask somebody that will tell you a lot about their personality? Favorite compliment they've ever received. It tells you a lot about what people think of themselves and what they tend to value. How would you describe the internet to a caveman? It will show you how they look at what the internet is used for. For example, some might say it's a source of information or it's a way to connect people who are far away. I know one person who said they wouldn't explain it to a caveman because they wouldn't go back in time without AC. Do you prefer night or day? Night. It's calm and peaceful. I very much enjoy my alone time, and night when everyone's asleep is the best. My father-in-law went on a job interview about 10 years ago and absolutely nailed the interview. As he was being shown around the office, a high-level person in that company who normally wasn't there just happened to be there that day. After they were introduced, he asked my Phil what kind of animal he would be. My Phil said he panicked and picked Dare. He's a bigger guy, and the other guy said something along the lines of that's a little too aggressive, maybe this isn't the job for you. So he didn't get the job, but I guess it worked out because he's got a pretty good job now, and if I was him I wouldn't want to work for someone who hires people based on what animal they think they would be. Bullet dodged. That sounds like an awful place to work. The right answer was, I'd be a parasite that lives in your eye and eats away your optical nerves. What would you do if you won the lottery? For me, it's a non-invasive way of listening to people's attitudes on finance in general, and also how they feel about the rich. Yes, this is a brilliant question. When I was newly dating my ex-boyfriend, it was around the time Super Lotto hit $1 billion a couple years ago. We were both in lottery ticket pools and discussed what we'd do if we won. His answer mortified me. It included how, if he were married, he'd divorce his wife and travel the world on a yacht doing drugs surrounded by hot women. Big red flag from me. What are you having for dinner tonight? It's really cool to hear about what people like, what their culture is like, because food is a huge part of that, and generally just how they live. Expensive or cheap? Quick or elaborate? Adventurous or safe? Ham, mustard, maybe some baby carrots if they aren't bad yet. I might try to make that garlic bread, but it's been in the freezer for like 3 years now. Does Mike Wazowski blink or wink? Depends on how he's holding his mouth. You are truly one of the great thinkers of our time. I had a task me a get to know you activity. What my vision was for a perfect world, and I said round LOL. What book would you like to live in? Wikipedia, the offline version. What was the last thing you did that gave you childlike joy? My 14-year-old asked for a longboard last spring. I'd said no because I figured it'd be something I spend a few $100 on that she'd try once, not be good at right away, and never touch it again. It wouldn't be the first time. After being locked up for 2 months with quarantine, I figured why not? It gets her outside, and maybe something she enjoy. At that point, I just wanted to get her out of her room and off her phone. I'd never seen her work so hard at something she wasn't good at right away. After back-to-back 6-hour days of practice, she started to get the hang of it and asked me if I wanted to try. I couldn't even stand on a board when I was a kid, but as an adult I just got it. I wasn't on it 5 minutes and I said, I need one. We left right then and picked one up for myself. We cruised all spring, summer, and fall. Not only was it great for bonding, I hadn't felt the kind of joy since I was little. A moment I'll never forget. Can't wait for the snow to melt. What superpower they want? I know there are more powerful powers that could get me wealth or whatever, but man, teleportation would be dope. Can travel the world but always sleep in your own bed and never need to book a flight. Never need to use a public restroom. Easily visit family. Only take road trips if I want. Can live and work anywhere. The rest of life could be normal, but it'd be great. I love this question because this girl I knew in college had just the best answer. She said the power to fill things, and after I looked at her kind of funny, she said, you know, like filling my bank account with money, filling my belly with spaghetti, or filling the enemy's bladders with urine. The ability to change probability. You could theoretically control anything. What's the probability I'll ace this test? Make it 100%. What's the probability of me winning the lottery? 100%. What's the probability I'll finally catch Alice cheating on me? 100%. Fifth question. I heard in an interview, what would you do if you came home and found a penguin in your freezer? It ends up not only being an icebreaker, but a good personality tell. Is the penguin dead or alive? African penguin or European penguin? How do you know so much about penguins? When you're job hunting, you have to know these sort of things. Are you in favor of homeowner associations? This is a good one because everyone who is familiar with them has such strong reactions. It's not a single question, but by the second or third date with a guy, I would ask him to go bowling. As it turns out, there's many ways to play the game. Do they take it too seriously and get competitive or angry if they don't do well? Does he act disinterested or bored of the game? Do they try to teach me how to play, or do they just try to be goofy, have fun with it? Do they order 2 pitchers of beer and get totally smashed? In my opinion, you can learn a lot about a person by the way they approach bowling. What's the last thing you did for the first time? Well, now I'm having an existential crisis because I can't think of anything. One of my standard job interview questions is, tell me about something you like doing that you're good at. I don't really care what the answer is. I just want to see passion, effort, and creativity. Phew. Thank God for that. Cost my answers going down on your mom. Do you put the cart back when you're done shopping? I put my cart away, but seriously, whether someone puts their carts back really shows you what they think about rules, social norms, and whether they will follow them when someone isn't looking or judging them. It's really interesting, and it's called the shopping cart theory. If they say no, walk away from this person, they are a monster. I've shared this before, but I feel it's pretty relevant and a great way to find out more about a person. Years ago, I went out on a first date with this girl I met online. I thought she was very attractive and we had so much common that I thought she was perfect. In addition to that, we seemed to hit off well through texts, so I figured this date would go well. We're at this bar and she suggests we play a people watching game where we try to make up backstories for the other people there. I thought it sounded fun, especially since I played a similar game with friends on the train sometimes. Plus, it felt like a good icebreaker to get us talking. Well, she managed to take all the fun out the game by being ridiculously cruel in all her assumptions for no real reason at all. It felt like she was projecting issues she had onto these people. Like one guy was sitting at the bar alone, could have been waiting for someone. You never know. But because he was alone, he was a fucking loser with no friends that hates his life. I tried to steer the game back to a more lighthearted mood, but she was set on being mean. Completely killed the mood, and after that I lost all interest in her. I just couldn't see myself going on a second date with someone like that, even if she checked all other boxes. However, I did learn that it's a dumb and usually fun game you can use that will really tell you a lot about a person and how well you get along with them. In a job interview, ask your prospective supervisor how much vacation time and sick days they took last year. This is great because both extremes take pride in their answer and so will answer honestly. The low vacation boss is proud of how hard she or he works, but really, it's bad if they don't take time off. They're coming in when they're sick, they're not recharging by taking vacation, and the expectation, even if unstated, is that their staff should follow that example. You'll feel guilty every time you call in sick or take vacation time. You want the boss who says, I always take my vacation time and encourage my staff to as well. I called in a couple times last year when I came down with a cold. Good boss. Grilled cheese sandwich or a taco? Who wins in a fight? Grilled cheese. But only if it's a fair fight. If it's prison rules, I'd take the taco. If dogs wore pants, would they wear them on all 4 legs, or just the back legs? Their favorite color, in so many ways. If they tell you without hesitating, it means they must have probably thought about it before. And it must be a color they really like, that makes them feel at home, or makes them happy. Whenever I meet someone and they tell me their favorite color, it becomes a part of them to me. It's not that I haven't thought about it, but it's that I think it's a ridiculous concept. I don't have a favorite color. Some colors look good on me. Some colors look good in a room. Sometimes I want an object to be one color. The idea I'd prefer everything to be a color seems preposterous. I'm colorblind. I hate this question. My favorite color is blue. Where were you the night of the murder? Which one? I'm going to need you to be more specific. Do you install your toilet paper with the flap over or under? If they say under, they're heathens. Asking about why something ended, be it a past job or a relationship, you learn a lot pretty quickly about someone. My girlfriend's dad always uses an interview question that makes or breaks a possible hire. Why are manhole covers round? The goal isn't to know the answer, is to show that you are willing to critically think about a problem before you say you need help. Do you have pets? No. This fucking asshole. If you won $10 million in a lottery, what would you do with the money? You'll know almost immediately if they are selfish or generous, greedy or giving, shallow or deeply thoughtful, financially responsible or just plain stupid. Who won the 2020 US presidential election? Edit. Thanks for the replies. What I intended with this question was simply to determine if the person lives in reality. 1. Do you watch porn? 2. Do you pee in the shower? If they answer no to either question, then you can't trust them. Thanks for watching. Share your stories in the comments.